Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new series here on YouTube, the Formula One Roundtable. I am joined by my good friend Jedediah, I
Jedi.
Jedi,
Jedi.
and John, aka JK, here on YouTube. How you doing, buddy? Buddies,
Oh
whatever.
my! I
Both
was
of
just saying,
you.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Ready
Yeah,
to?
I'm chilling, dude. I'm doing really good. Let's
um,
get this.
yeah, let's get this. So here this series or podcast or however you view it is about an hour or two preview for the upcoming month and review of the prior month in Formula One. Because this is the first month of the season, we're going to be doing a bit more of a prediction type video, as well as covering some of the general news and stuff like liveries and stuff. So first off, I'm going to get into a segment that we will bring up whenever we get a new guest here on the channel, the F1 origin story. So the F1 origin story is basically the story of how you got into Formula One. Does anybody want to take the first one, or should I do it?
I think I'll start honestly. So with F1, I think it was around 2017. I kind of. Oh yeah, saw Lance Stroll being announced that he was going to race for Williams on the news, and I'm like, oh, we have a Canadian in the sport. I was fairly new, like I didn't know anything about the sport. So I think one day I decided, you know what, let me buy an F1 game. I think it was F1 2014. And then, you know what, I just played it for like a month. And I was like, okay, I kind of like this. So eventually I got a new console and moved up into the F1 games over time. And I started really getting into the sport around the 2018 season. And like, I think the first race I watched was yeah, I think I started I was watching it around I started watching around the Australian Grand Prix. And after that race it just snapped to me and I just continued watching it, and from there I just love the sport and started learning about its history and everything. So yeah.
Okay, John. What about you? Do you want to go first, or should I go?
I'll go. I mean, mine's not very long. I grew up a racing fan, like NASCAR and stuff. And I went to college, and my roommate was like up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" He goes, "I'm watching F1," and I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm a NASCAR fan, so I'm gonna say that's dumb." And I went back to bed, and then a couple of weeks later, I started watching Drive to Survive, and I was like, okay, well, this actually seems not as dumb as I thought it was. And then I started watching more races or started watching races, I should say. I'm trying to think of when it was. I think it was probably 2021 when I started watching. Yeah,
Fantastic year to start.
It would have been post COVID. So yeah, yeah, it was, you know,
Okay,
it was
so
crazy.
yeah, you had a very good first year to start. I spent like 7 years waiting for something like that. So for me, I also grew up a NASCAR fan. Dad was huge into it for the longest time, back in the days of Petty and Pearson and all those guys. I got into the sport around late 2008, early 2009, and I loved it. Unfortunately, I think it was winter of 2013, they announced they were changing the points format. I can't remember. But NASCAR essentially nuked their own product by removing all legitimacy from their championship by introducing the playoffs, which, as JK or John has heard me say, I am not the biggest fan of these. And I decided to go and actively search out for an alternative. I came across F1, which was on NBC at the time, and I got up at I think it was like I stayed up till like 1 in the morning to watch the Australian Grand Prix of 2014, where I watched Nico Rosberg win by half a minute, and I was just like, sure, why not? And I've been watching ever since. I don't know why, because those first few years were not particularly good, but something about just how it felt legitimate when I was coming from a motorsport that had basically none. It was enough to keep me around. Yeah, not the most interesting, but
Hey, everyone has their stories. What do you want us to say? Like, oh, this is boring.
no.
Everyone,
Yeah, we're gonna start attacking each other for how our origin story went.
I
I'm
will.
not gonna go after John for being a fan of DTS. Like, that's how most of the new people really came into F1. Honestly,
Yes, DTS.
Yeah,
People are a lot of like older F1 fans are ruthless against DTS people. It's just like, come on. Back in 2014, I would have broken my own arm if I could have talked with somebody who actually knew anything about F1 because of how dead it was in this country.
honestly, like I started out as a DTS fan, but I hate it now. Like, I can't stand it. All the like, I'm a big like no drama, no BS. I guess a little bit of drama sprinkled in is fine, obviously, because it's motorsports. It's gonna have drama, but like purpose, purposefully, Jesus, I don't know. Make We're just ramping up the drama for no reason. So like, I grew to really dislike DTS after like watching a whole season of it and then being like, oh man, I can't wait for Drive to Survive to come out and it's gonna be awesome. And then I watched it and all the stuff, it was horrible. I was like, yeah, no, this is no good.
Yeah,
the racing's good.
I think I understand what you mean. The drama that was caused by Lando and Max at Austria last year, good. Intentionally misusing audio quotes to make it seem like Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo hate each other, not particularly good.
No, and I know the new one just came out. Like, I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, but I'm gonna push through it like a real trooper.
I haven't
see how bad it is this year. I've seen clips.
yeah, I haven't watched that. I think there was a controversy too with George Russell apparently having a panic attack. I think it was Singapore or something, and like people were flipping out at Netflix because of that. I'm like,
Dang.
yo, DTS is. I like you said, it just the new season just came out. I still didn't even watch it. I'm trying to get myself to watch it, but I'm like, I don't have the time, and I'm just like,
I watched like 3 episodes of the first season, quickly realized what it was. It's just reality TV for motorsports fans, and I just stopped.
pretty
I
much.
will. It was a good way, like being introduced to the sport and not knowing really how it worked. My roommate was explaining a lot of the stuff, but then he was like, let's watch this. If you end up liking this, then we'll start like watching races and stuff. I guess it would have been late 2020, actually, leading into 2021. That I'd actually started attempting to watch races and not doing well. But that's when like watching Drive to Survive happened. But it was a good like launching point because it kind of gives you an idea of like who to root for because like, you know, getting caught up through the first, I think it was like 3 or 4 seasons, it like made me I really grew to like Max because, you know, he was the underdog going into 2021 and had a bunch of raw speed, but was still trying to figure it out as he was growing up, basically, because there was like 3 seasons out or whatever. But I think that it's, like I said, it's a great launching off point because it gives you an idea of who to root for or who you think you can back, and then once you start watching them, then you can kind of pick and choose as you go from there. You know.
Yeah, that's definitely very fair. And just talking quickly about Jedi's, I met you through F1 2014, and that was the only racing game I've ever been better than you at. So
yeah, I think after that, I I was like, what, I'm tired of being beaten around, and I'm like, what, I'll just play the game for a little more, and I decided, what, I'm just gonna lock in. I'm gonna be better. I think even in 2020, the F1 2020 game,
we were comparable in 20 and 21. I cannot figure out the physics model for 23, and I didn't play much of it. I reinstalled it the other day to see if I could try and figure it out. There's something about the new generation of cars I just don't understand.
Honestly, you should if you were around at the time of F1 22, you would probably like be in utter disgust because that game was terrible.
It,
Like on a controller, that game was the worst thing ever.
it couldn't
I
have handled worse than 2014 though, because that game's handling was awful.
No, F1 22 was probably like no, that was just a bad time for me. I got used to it, but like it hit like a train. Like the new cars just like were just like whoa. It was shocking to me. Like 23, they made it more playable on a controller, and I enjoy 23 actually. That I think I have the most hours on 23 because like that game was just really solid.
Maybe sometime we should reinstall it and we can actually see if I can learn it.
I still have the game. I could probably install it. Yeah, I could install it whenever.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But let's transition on into the livery rankings for this season. Did either of you watch the event on YouTube or anything?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I watched it because I wanted to see the cars, but a lot of the event itself was quite poor.
Yeah, it was cringy. Like, who was it? They were announcing something with the FIA, and all of a sudden you hear every single boo ever. Like, the whole crowd was booing the FIA.
That's because Ben Salam, whatever his name is, he's the worst. He's the worst.
Yeah, I just watched the video about him, and he was flamed.
So do we want to do this one at a time, revealing our liveries? Like we do 10, but each of us does it at once, or do we want to like reveal them one after another, and then instantly talk about it?
I say we look at all the liveries, and then we just have a ranking of which one we think is the best.
So
we start with the most dominant team up and all the way down to like.
Okay, so do you want to go with reverse or constructors championships from last year order, and we talk about them and then we rank them?
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
okay,
I think that would be the best idea.
Let's talk about McLaren. I have them ranked, I think, middle of the pack because the car is pretty much the same as last year. Anybody else have anything on it?
About the McLaren?
Yeah. It's a good looking car. It's just not particularly different, and I thought it was middle of the pack last year.
The McLaren delivery this year, like, it just, I don't know. It looks the same.
Pretty much.
I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, there's like maybe 2 things that are changed. Barely. So, it's okay. It's the same. But I don't hate it. I like it. I don't hate it. It's just they could have changed something. So,
any opinions on it, John?
No, I think I'm in the same boat as y'all. I looked at it because I didn't get to watch the event either, and I was poking around. I was trying to do some research, trying to be professional. And I looked at it and I was like, damn, McLaren really went like full Red Bull this year, and we're like, the livery, to hell with it. Just run the same one as last year. It'll be fine. I do like it though. I think, and we're gonna get. I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion about a car, but I like the orange and black combo. I don't know why. I just orange and black like has always been a solid color combo for me, and I love the creativity with the wheel covers and using the Google Chrome logo. I think that's a nice touch, but I think it's the same scheme as last year, and I think middle of the pack's pretty good spot for it. As much as I like the color combo, it's just kind of, it's almost like I think it was one of William Byron's schemes from last year. It was like his Raptor scheme or something.
I know.
Where it's just random shapes like on the quarter panels and stuff. But yeah, I'll go with this nice solid. I'll give it a 6. I'll put a number on it. I'll put McLaren at 6.
Oh, you're giving us.
You have it at 6, or
Yeah.
6 out of 10, or 6th in the list.
6th on the list.
I have it at 6th on my list too, so we're in pretty much lockstep here.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel real good.
On my list, yeah, I think 5 or 6. I'll put it up to 5. I think it's definitely top 5 for me.
Okay, so moving down
out of 10 cars, yeah, it's top 5.
So moving down to second place in the constructors, Ferrari. This is a controversial one because a lot of HP logo memes. I don't think it looks that bad. I quite like the car, the dark red with the white. I think it puts it around 5th on my list, but I think it's a very good 5th. I think a lot of people who are like complaining about it are pretty much just like sponsorship bad when that's been like part of racing for ever, pretty much. Thoughts of you guys?
For the Ferrari, now I like this. I like the Ferrari is. I like the livery. The HP logo when they added it back in Miami last year, I was like, oh, this is actually fire. And now that they made the red darker than last year, and on top of that they added like the white stripe with the where the HP logo is, I'm like, yeah, this is nice. It looks like the SF1000. I think. Wait, let me see the SF1000.
To me, it looks like the 2004 car. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, no, it's not the SF1000. Sorry, there was a... What was it? They were in Amelia... No. Where did they race in 2020?
The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I think it was their 1000th race.
There was one of the liveries where and they had like this dark red.
It was the one-off. Yeah, I remember that.
That was in Mugello, I think.
Yeah, that was the one highlight of that season as a Ferrari fan. So
it reminds me of that, and like the color, like not the color scheme, but that red is just I don't know, something about it is just, I love it. Like it's 4 on my list. It's for sure like a 4 on my list for sure.
Okay, John, what are your thoughts on it?
I really like the Ferrari scheme. I do. I think like the balance of the darker red is like, it caught me off guard when I first saw it, but I was like, you know what? I actually really like this, and the white pops really well, and like, I don't like that the HP logo is blue, but you can't really do much with that. But I think honestly, it doesn't take away from the scheme or livery at all. I actually have it at number 2. I'm a really big fan of it. I don't know why, but I love that. I love that livery. I think it looks really, really good.
I have one minor criticism of the scheme. I don't think the back of the rear wing should be blue, but besides that, I think it is an excellent scheme, worthy of if Ferrari does well this year, that scheme will go down in history. If they 2022 it again, it's gonna be, it's a bad car, yada yada, forever, pretty much. So this is gonna be a very quick one because it's the same car.
Sorry.
Okay,
wait,
but
what?
this is gonna be a very quick one because this team has the same livery for the last decade. Red Bull Racing. I have them at 7th. I think it's a good scheme. I'm a bit bored of it at this point.
I also have them at 7. Although I do love the scheme, blue is one of my favorite colors. I love the navy blue and the orange and the yellow. I wish they would switch it up, just because there's so many. It's the same complaint I have about all the monster cars in NASCAR. There's so many different flavors and different can colors and stuff. I understand that branding's a thing. Like, you want to keep it's. Dale Jr. talked about it in his podcast a while ago. Somebody asked him why he couldn't drive like why it was always Budweiser, never like Bud Light, for example. So I understand keeping with the same colors, same branding. It's easily recognizable and stuff, but I don't know. There is part of me that wishes they'd change it up just for one season. Just do like a like the it's like blueberry or whatever winter one. It's like a really light blue can. Looks awesome. Kind of I don't know, but
I'm not sure if
yeah.
you've ever seen their 2017 and 18 testing paint schemes, but those were fantastic. They should have used one of those.
With
Jeff,
the oh, um, the Red Bull, pretty depressing. As a Red Bull fan, it's pretty depressing seeing that Red Bull have the same car. I mean,
it's iconic,
like,
but yeah, it's getting old.
like I, there's nothing really much for me to say about Red Bull. Where did I put Ferrari at 5?
I think
And
you
then
put them at 4 or 5, yeah.
okay, so I think I put it at 4, and then McLaren at 5. Red Bull is going to be 6. Just because they've been doing the same scheme for so, like, yeah, you're right. They have been doing it for 9 years. 9 years. Because the 2015 car was purple. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nothing crazy to me. It's pretty boring.
Okay, moving on to 4th in the Constructors' Championship, and the last team last year to have over 100 points, Mercedes. This tops my list. I adore it. I know it's the same paint scheme as last year, but I thought it was the best paint scheme last year too. The fact that it combined the black and silver paint schemes together, fantastic. And I think it's even a little bit better this year because they removed the red from the airbox and added silver onto it. I adore this scheme. I want this scheme to stay for like another few years yet because this was fantastic. What about you two?
I'll start. Yeah. I completely agree with you. This car is, I don't know. I like how it looks. It just looks. How do I put it? Like the fact that they removed the red, and then they added the kind of like the stars at the back again. Like they were there before, but now they're more prominent. It just looks really clean. It's super clean. Like literally every single piece of red that was on the car last year is gone, and I'm just like, wow. It's really good. This is up there. This is for sure like this is a 3. This is a 3. Like 100% 3.
Okay.
It's perfection, honestly. Damn near perfection.
Okay, what about you, John?
I like it a lot. I put it at 4. And it was tough because like Ferrari's ahead of them, and then there's 2 other teams that we haven't talked about that I love the other 2 liveries. So it was kind of like it was tough to put Merc at 4 because it is a good looking paint scheme or livery, and I didn't even realize it was basically the same as last year. I guess it was because there's no red on it this year. And I'll be honest, I didn't pay much attention to Merc last year. That's my bad. But I do like it. It's funny because we just had the conversation about, oh, well, Red Bull needs to change it up because it's been the same for so long. I think there is a point where you could keep a scheme for probably 2, 3, 4 years, maybe. 4 might be stretching it, but like 2 or 3 years for sure. If people really adore the scheme. And this is one that honestly it could stick around for a couple years and I wouldn't be mad. It would just get to the point probably year 3 or 4 that I would be like, all right, it's time to change it up a little bit, just something a little different. But it's really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's so fast. Continue.
Okay, real quick, just double checking something. Okay, on to 5th place in the constructors last year on 98 points. Aston Martin, Aramco, Mercedes, Project Stroll. I have them at 3 on my list. It's a little bit worse than last year's car, but I wouldn't say it's by much. And I am a sucker for a green race car. I really have nothing else to say about it. The little bits of black on the side pods or whatever.
Uh, I can't lie. I'm kind of the opposite of you. I am definitely gonna be. Like it. Okay. Probably. Do I have a car 3? I don't even know. I think no. I do have a car 3. So I'm gonna be putting this under Red Bull.
So that would be 8th on your list,
This
I
is
think,
gonna
or 6th. Somewhere around there.
7th. I think it's 7th. I should write this down.
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah.
I had to. I would have forgot if I didn't.
I think I'm going off memory. So, yeah, this is the 7th.
Yeah. But yeah, what exactly about this car is not for you?
Honestly, it's just I don't hate it, but it's just for the other cars on the list, I can't put it up in top 3, like at all. I like the silver and the more black on the car, but I'm like, it just looks like an Aston Martin. Like, I don't know. There's not much I can really say about this car. Like, I looked at it and I'm like, it's cool, it's nice, but that's it. Like, I'm not gonna be blown over by this car. So, yeah, it's pretty low on the list for me. Like, it's okay. So, I feel like, yeah. What about you, John?
I have it at 5. I do like. I think the more I look at it, the more I kind of like it. I like the kind of like metallic-y green that they use. I'm a huge fan of that because it really contrasts well with the black. And I really like the like neon yellow line that they use to kind of break up the Aston Martin green and the black. I think it's just like it's really basic. It's basically like they went, okay, we're going to paint the top half of the car green, we're going to paint the bottom half of the car black, and we're going to put a yellow line in there and split it up. But I there's something about like really basic schemes that are really well executed that I'm a big fan of, and this is one of them. I think it's going to look really good on track or really good in the wall, depending on which Aston we're looking at. But,
yeah. Oh, poor Stroll.
Catching strays.
Okay, moving on to the 6th place finisher last year, Alpine Renault. I don't like this car. I don't. It's not even like I dislike pink cars because the racing points and the Force Indias were great. I just don't think the blue and the pink mixes well at all. I'm not a fan.
I think the graphic designer got drunk and then was like, "Oh crap, I got to put a car together."
This for me, this is 10.
Jeez, that's a 10 for you? Seriously?
This is the bottom of my list.
That's wild. That's okay. That's crazy.
It was either that or Sauber, and I had to pick one.
Oh my goodness! And you put Alpine down there? No.
Yep. Sorry.
Siri? No.
I'm not
okay.
Sorry.
No.
I'm not sorry. I put him at 10 too.
Okay. My take on this livery. I'm a fan of pink. That's like so. What? Here we go again with the crazy opinion, but then the low ranking. I kind of like it. I don't hate it actually. It's simple. Like this is. You know what? No. I'm gonna put it at 8. Actually, yeah, I'll put it at 8. I'll put it at 8 under the Yasin. that's where I'm going with this. I like the Alpine liveries. I've always liked the Alpine liveries.
I like their
It's
2021 livery. Ever since they signed with BWT, I've not been a big fan, but
it's just that last year they were basically the car was like stripped naked with like no paint, and this time they decided to add paint.
I'll say
I
this:
guess they
their car is better than last year.
yeah that's why I'm like I'm really I have this at 8 because I'm like okay this car has some color to it now. It's not just a black and bits of blue and bits of pink car. I like it. This one I like to see on track. This one is like appealing to my eye. So
I
it's yeah.
Now I think that car is going to be quite far up this year because of Gasly, but I don't know if it's going to be the night best looking. John, thoughts on the
Gasly.
Alpine?
Oh
Oh,
God, ugly, terrible, horrible.
Yeah, I guess that
Man.
works.
I don't know. I wish I had more to say to it than just that. It's literally like they just went, okay, let's do like I said, the designer was like, okay, baby blue car, and then he got hammered, and he's like, all right, pink Alpine logo, a different pink for the BWT logo, and then pink on the end plate of the front wing and the halo, and was like, perfect. I don't like it. Like, so I race and I paint my own stuff for iRacing. Not all of it looks good, but it looks better than that. I'll give it a chance. I'd like to see it on track more. But man, that is a rough the rendering on the F1 website where it's the easiest place to find all the cars in one spot. It is rough.
I think we gave that paint scheme way more attention than it really deserved. Let's go on to Haas. I really, really like their paint scheme this year. It kind of has, it has like aspects of Toyota to it, and it has like the traditional Haas paint scheme, and pretty much anything that isn't a giant Russian flag out of Haas is great. So
Yes.
P4 and this P4 in my rankings really good. If you're gonna sell out, at least sell out to the Japanese who aren't evil
Well,
anymore.
there was that. Yeah, there was that. But it's fine.
That was 70 years ago.
Sorry.
Okay, my take on this one. Dude, I saw this and I'm like, yeah, this is hot.
Oh yeah.
That I was like, yeah, this one right here, Haas was in their bag this year. But once again, like Haas don't really tend to miss unless it's their 2021 car, and onward. What was it, 22, 2020?
No, it was just the 2021 car.
It was
They-
just the 21. Okay.
Because Mazepin got thrown out during preseason testing because of world events, we shall say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one, oh man, I saw, bro. This was, yeah, this one's gonna be like this is up there. This is number 2. This one's number 2 for me for sure, dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
John, what do you got?
I have it on the podium. I have it at number 3. I love this car. Like obviously other than the whole Mazepin thing where the Russian mob tried to take over Haas there for a little bit. I don't know what it is about like there's just something about black and white on a car. It looks good, and Haas nailed it. I think I don't know if they've done it before, but having the Haas logo be black looks so good.
I think they did it in 2016. Let me.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think
That
I'm
would-
the only. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna say that one before I was watching.
No, I'm
so,
wrong.
like,
I'm
really.
wrong.
Oh,
It was 2016.
but I mean, even if it is something that just doesn't get seen very often, I love the Haas logo being black. I think it looks magnificent.
Yes, this is actually one of their best because I've seen all 10 Haas's at this point. This is like easily second or third. That John Player Lotus inspired one that they did with I can't
2019.
even. That was the best one,
Oh,
but this is like second or third.
was that the
I
Rich Energy year?
Yeah, that was the
the
Rich
Oh
Energy one.
yeah, that was a good
crazy
looking
year.
car.
That-
That
it
was a
was,
good looking car.
but it was an insane year. Like that was super controversial. That was that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
They're gonna
Honest-
sue us.
my honestly, my favorite year for Haas. I don't know if they. I think they changed it, but they had one where it was the gray car where they had the white Haas logo, but I'm pretty sure they went to the red logo instead. But
Mm.
I think it was preseason testing, and they had the white logo instead, and it was so good. It was so good. That is up there for the Haas liveries, for
Yeah.
like 100%, 100%.
And just saying this, shout out to Haas for making it to 10 years. I remember a couple people who said an American team couldn't make it 10 years in F1. Good job, guys. Even if
Oh,
you
yeah.
could, even
I'm
if you
proud.
had, even if you had to sell out to the Russian mafia for that 1 year, you still made it.
Good luck.
We're proud of you.
Next, I'm pretty sure this one's going to be on all of our podiums. The V carb. It's second for me. It's basically the reincarnation of that white 2021 Turkish GP Red Bull. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Second.
So,
Remember,
No!
I said Mercedes was first already.
Oh my! I forgot about that, bro. Oh
second
my
for
god.
second for this. Oh, good gosh. That's okay.
I
Okay.
listen. It got second. It's not like I'm saying it's
Honestly-
awful. I love the paint scheme.
Honestly, we cannot even get mad at that. That's a
No.
solid rating. Honestly, but that over Mercedes? I think I would no Mercedes over the. That's crazy. That might be crazy.
I
That might be
respect
crazy.
I respect V carb over Mercedes. This is
You
my
might have to
personal
relook that.
opinion.
Oh, I am 100% going the V carb over the Merc. I love it.
I'm also a
And I
fan of
like
George
the-
Russell, so there's that.
I like the little like blue bowls they have on the well, if I'd have zoomed in on the right part of the website so I could look at the scheme I'm trying to look at. But it's like blue bowls coming out of the back of the car, charging towards the front, obviously to match the other two Red Bull logos that are facing the front of the car. I think it's wonderful. I think it's a great paint scheme. And yeah, part of it is because it copies that white Red Bull scheme from the Turkish Grand Prix. And like we talked about, it'd be nice to see Red Bull go a little different direction with their main scheme, but the fact that they put this beauty on there, and honestly, last year's wasn't too bad either with like the like metallic-y blue with the chrome, kind of like the old Toro Rossos.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
fire.
I'm a big fan of if Red Bull wants to just keep the same livery on the Red Bull racing car and then just mess around with the V carb and do whatever they want and make fire liveries. I'm cool with that.
I will say this: I will always look at last year's V carb a little sad because that was my boy Ricardo's last ride. So
Oh,
Yeah, that still has me a bit of in a chokehold. That was damn.
okay.
Well, I didn't even wait. Hold up.
Oh
My
yeah.
take on this livery. My take on this livery. This is number one on my list. This is
Sir.
this is 100% number one. Those little Red Bulls that kind of like at the back of the car, like how the Mercedes do their stars. I just wanna give a round of applause because yeah, this is what you call fire. This is some fire writing. Whoever was in charge of designing this car deserves their flowers. This car is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yep.
It's really good, dude. Like yeah, hell yeah.
Uh,
But
it,
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
It, It's a damn good paint scheme. I fully agree. It is one of the top two. I don't think it's you. I don't think it's better than Mercedes, but that's just me. Again, I'm a Russell fan. I'm obviously a little bit biased.
I'm excited to see this car in Australia. If I do watch the Australian Grand Prix, but I'm really excited to see this on track, for sure.
Okay, moving on to the ninth place finisher last year, Williams. It's fine. It's a Williams. It's eighth place. It severely lacks freedom in comparison to last year, but he couldn't drive, so.
Bring back the 2021 Williams scheme.
I needed to.
Let me make my take on this. Now, the 2021 scheme was kind of garbage. I'm sorry.
The only reason I remember that is because of Abu Dhabi.
I would say what is it, the 2020 car that looked better? I would say the 2020. The 2020 car was the good looking one.
I think that this is one of their best looking paint schemes since the Rothmans ones in the 90s. Or no, wait, actually, I forgot about the oh god, what was it? Martini schemes from the mid 2010s.
Oh yeah, the martini schemes are fun.
The Martini schemes were probably their best since I've watched them. But it's a decent scheme. It's definitely better than 2019 through whatever era when they were barely surviving. But I don't. It's kind of forgettable. Elbon and Sainz are probably going to put up decent points in that, but I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt Sainz he's gonna turn that, whatever, if it's a competitive car, into something you've never seen before. I wouldn't be surprised. Sainz is definitely gonna put up some numbers. Hopefully, Albon, I have no doubt that he's also gonna be working that car, because Albon is a solid driver. So, honestly, my take on the 2025 livery. Wait, Anthony, you made your take?
Yeah, I've just said it's kind of an average. I have it down at eighth.
This is gonna be ninth for me.
John, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I had to go back and double check myself. I loved the 2021 Williams car. I don't know why. I have no explanation why.
Could it possibly be because one of them wrecking gave your boy the championship?
Oh, I actually ran it. I ran it on a GT3 car on iRacing for a while. I will say that the F1 website does Williams incredibly dirty with the picture they use that has FlowViz on it or something. What's your FlowViz? So I originally had them at 9 because I thought that was part of the paint scheme for some reason, but I moved them up to 8. It's just I think it's the same as last year. I might be wrong, but I don't think they changed anything crazy.
Pretty much the same car as last year, correct. Okay, moving on to the ninth place finisher from last year.
You mean the 10th? The 10th.
Was Williams ninth? Oh yeah, I guess they are 10th.
Yeah.
Sauber, whatever. Just call them Audi. It's bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's ninth. I don't like the green. I'm sorry.
Unpopular opinion. I am a big fan of electric green and black being combined. I don't know why. This is very F1 game paint scheme that you can unlock, but worse, honestly.
After I saw this car in testing, it kind of looks fake. It doesn't look like a real car. This is obviously number 10 for me. I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of green cars. Green on road cars different, but green on some race cars and some greens just aren't it for me at all. This just looks like they half-assed it with the green and then the carbon. I don't know. I was never a fan of Sauber, or are they still even Sauber?
Yeah, they're still Sauber till next year. Or
Okay, so
for this year. They'd become Audi next year. Sorry.
I would, yeah, this is 10 for sure. My favorite livery of the Sauber was definitely with this specific chassis would have been the 2022, the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, that was when they were still the Alfa Romeo Saubers were very good.
That was a pretty car.
Listen, whenever I think of Alfa Romeo Sauber, I still think of Charles Leclerc wringing that thing's neck in 2017? No, 2018.
28.
Like
Charles was putting the car to its pieces.
He took that car that should not have been anywhere near the points, and I think he finished 7th like 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But even the what was it, the 2021 car or 20 when did Giovinazzi, it was, yeah, the 2021 car. That too was really good. Like those red and white cars were just really pretty. Like those were beautiful. So, but now with this Kick Sauber, it's really Kick and Steak running it. So, it's boring. I don't like it. Terrible, garbage. 10. Boo. I don't like it.
So we're going.
It can die.
Okay, so with our livery rankings done, we will now move into predictions. I'm going to start off by giving my mom's predictions because my mom watches has pretty much watched every F1 race since like 2018 with me. She's become a big fan of it. She has graciously given us some predictions. I think in the future I'm going to have a video of her actually giving them, but my parents are taking a trip to Vegas, so I wasn't able to get it in time. So here's my mom's predictions. She thinks the champion of this year, drumroll please, Oscar Piastri.
What?
I don't hate that.
Okay, no, you know what? That's not a bad take. That's not a bad take. Honest to God, that's not a bad take.
She thinks Max Verstappen's going to come up second. I could see it. I think a lot of people are writing off Max. I think he's going to be in there.
If she's right with this, somebody has to give her like $1 million or something.
P3. Oh, sorry.
No, continue. Don't worry.
P3, Charles Leclerc. I can see that. George Russell, P4, and then Lewis Hamilton, P5. I think that's a good top 10, or top 5. My mom is like the world's biggest tifosi because she's Italian-American, and she absolutely loves Ferrari. So she thinks they're going to win the Constructors. Again, I could see that happening, especially if Charles is 3rd and Hamilton's 4th. I think one of the things that concerns me is that she doesn't even have Norris in her top 5, but whatever. My mom, again, this is because she's an Italian-American, she thinks Kimi Antonelli will be the Rookie of the Year. And I can see it.
That's honest facts. Yeah, that's facts. Facts. I agree with that one. Yeah.
And we're going to get into our race predictions later, but her race prediction, she thinks in Australia, Charles wins, Piastri 2nd, and Max 3rd. And then in China, Max 1st, Russell 2nd. And here's a wild one, Carlos Sainz P3.
Whoa.
Going for it. I like it.
Whoa. Damn.
I partially think she still thought Sainz was with Ferrari, but I went with it. She went with it anyways, so...
That's insane.
Stick with your guns, honestly.
Wild ass race prediction, but hey, maybe we get a wild race in China.
I'd be okay with that.
These were preseason predictions, or that's not even.
So that was my mom's preseason predictions plus her race predictions. We're gonna have a bit more expanded predictions in this, but my mom, again, I'm pretty sure half the reason she watches the sport is just because she finds the people attractive. So I gave her a bit more simplified stuff. I think the Piastri one's a bit wild. I can't see Piastri winning the title without Norris being in the top 5. That's just me.
That's insane. Whoa.
Well, if Lando screws up enough starts, anything is possible.
If he like if McLaren gives him a clutch that just doesn't exist, maybe.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll go with my. Okay, is this preseason predictions for the champs and stuff?
Yeah, so we're gonna go with preseason predictions. each of us is going to go 10th or 20th, 21st, 20 or 20th, depending on what we think is going to happen with doing through 10th, and then each of us will do our top 10 from there. You got it?
Okay.
Did you write any of this down? Because I did tell you to.
I don't need to really write it down.
Because, like, we're going to go 21st through 10th, and then we're going to do our up through 10 through first one at a time.
Okay. Let me start with the champ. I am solidifying my boy. Wait,
okay.
what?
Okay. Again, we're not doing... We're not doing our champion. We're doing the order. We're going to do the champion last. We're going to do 10th, 20th the first, or 20th through 10th first, and then one of the others one at a time.
From the bottom to the top?
Bottom to top.
Okay. Who's really at the bottom of the barrel?
So I think Doohan's going to finish dead last because I just don't think he's going to have enough time to score points. I think he's going to get fired. I think, and I don't think Colapinto's going to do particularly well. So I think he's going to be like 20th.
If Colapinto actually get that seat.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm going to leave Colapinto off the list. But
yeah,
so
let's leave him off because he's.
So I'm going to have Doohan in 20th just because I think he is going to get replaced. And then I have the Kick Sauber boys. I don't care which way you stick them around. I think I had Hajar, Elbon, Sonoda. Let me double check this again because... Yeah, it was Doohan, Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Hajar, Colapinto, Elbon... Ignore Colapinto. Elbon, Alonso, Sonoda, Ocon, Behrman, and Behrman are my bottom 10. I think Behrman's going to have a good year. I think pretty much most of these guys in the bottom 10 are going to have good years. They're just not going to... They don't have the machinery. What about you two?
Okay, so I agree with you in the first one. Doohan, definitely 20th. I don't think... Actually... Yeah, right. Yeah, the Kicks out... Bortoletto, Hulkenberg... That's kind of crazy, actually. I think Hulkenberg was on a... He was steamrolling people.
Maybe Hulkenberg gets past Stroll, but that car is just terrible. Like, Bottas had a decent year and didn't get any points.
That's true. Okay, yeah. I'll put... yeah. So, Doohan, Bortoletto, Hulkenberg. Then now we're kind of in like a weird position.
Yeah.
This one was kind of hard.
Yeah, positions like 17 through 11 are weird.
Like, imagine saying Isaac Hajar, but I haven't really seen much of him. And I don't know much. Like, I didn't really watch F2, so I'm not really sure what his track record's like.
So, here's the thing. I think Stroll's only going to get, like, a handful of points all year. So, do you think he's going to get more points than Stroll?
It's crazy! Unless Stroll locks in.
That's not going to happen.
It's Lance Stroll, and that Aston Martin... and that Aston Martin isn't particularly good.
Okay. You know what?
As much as I love Josh Revel, like watching Josh Revel stuff, and every year he says Lance Stroll's gonna win a race. It just gets perceived year. I'm like, my brother, it's not gonna happen now. It's over.
You know what? I'll put Hajar over Stroll. That's a crazy take, but I'm gonna do it. That's exactly how.
So we have the same bottom four.
Yep.
I'm trying to like think this out and try to give myself some reasoning. That way I can argue my point. But it's so tough. Like 20, I have Doohan, obviously. I wanted to go out on the limb and say he's gonna stick around and surprise some people. And I feel like I should have stuck with my gut and I watch him go like score points.
I think you know
Race
what?
One.
Okay, yeah. So I think Stroll above Doohan. Then we have like the Haas boys. Wait, did I miss? Oh wait, Sonoda, Tsunoda's might. Yeah, I'm putting. Yeah. Tsunoda is he's not a bad driver. People underrate him, kind of.
Christian
Because
Horner underrates him.
Amen.
I'm putting. Okay, Tsunoda. No. I'm putting Behrman, Tsunoda, then Ocon.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Is that the entire bottom 10? I don't think you've mentioned Alonso or anybody. Whatever.
Not yet. The best rookie.
You better
So,
not
yeah.
have put he better not be your rookie of the year. That's all I'm saying.
So, yeah, I'm putting. I think Ocon. You know what? Yeah. I'll stick with that. Then we have Williams. Now Williams is in a weird spot, but you know what? I'll put Albon over Sainz. Is that
What?
crazy to say?
What position are you even at? I think you're at 11th at this point. So I
Pretty
think
much.
I think from here you can start with your top 10. John, I think you did your bottom 4 already, so you can go from there.
That's about all I had. I'm just trying to think because I feel like the field's so close, right?
Yeah,
And
like these bottom guys are really difficult to judge because it's only going to be a couple
Yeah.
points between them.
It's tough to project. I have Doohan at 20, even though I wanted to put him higher, and I should have for the memes. I have Bortoletto at 19, Hadjar at 18. Oh, I missed Nico Hulkenberg, but it's fine.
He'll be fine.
It's fine. Yeah, Hulk at 17. Then I'm just gonna bump everybody up. Hulk at 17, Stroll at 16, Ollie Behrman at 15, Albon at 14, Ocon at 13. I wrote the numbers wrong anyways, so it doesn't matter. Hold on. 20, 19, 18,
So
14, 13, and 12. All right, I wrote 15, 14, and then wrote 15, 14 again. So Albon in 15th, Ocon in 14th, Gasly and Yuki 13th and 12th.
and then what about P11?
That's a great question. I don't know. It's kind of like in a toss up between like Carlos and Fernando.
Huh.
And
You
I
have
feel like I feel like I'm missing somebody else too.
Did you put Albon? Albon was where?
Yeah, I
Albon
think-
was 15, or
That's-
well, it'd be 14.
like I had Albon 15th too.
Okay,
Which,
the
Because
Spaniard.
I
I
forgot
would
Hulk's 17. And then I had Stroll at 16, Behrman 15, Albon 14, Ocon 13, Gasly 12.
I feel like
No, yeah.
I feel like everybody's underrating Behrman. Like I have him at 11. I don't think he cleared 15th on either of your lists.
I have him
Because
at 15.
Listen,
I'm at
we
15.
had what? How many races of Behrman did we have? Have like 1 or 2?
Yeah, no, I get it. You're being more cautious on the rookie, but like I'm a bit more bullish on the fact that I think this guy is fantastic. I think this guy's special.
Listen, I don't doubt Behrman, but it's just we have like this list is fairly stacked. Like,
I think my question is how good is the Haas actually going to be?
that's the problem. If Haas needs to be like a top, maybe like a 6th best car.
Yeah, that's where I think they're going to be around there because like Aston Martin fell off a cliff near the end of last year. I can't see Alonso even dragging that car to past like 14th on my list. So,
But then again, it's Alonso, and Alonso puts a lot of cars into the points.
that's fair.
Like, it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
I also think Alonso's head's going to be more focused on next year with Adrian Newey, but
yeah, I kind of
He's
handcuffed
40,
myself.
43, 42.
I handcuffed myself by doing this in pen, but I'm going to put Alonso at 10.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
We rushed over the bottom 10 because I think a lot of it's kind of just... it's hard to project.
Throw a dart.
Yeah.
Just throw a dart.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off
top
with
10?
We're going to start off with top 10. So in 10th, I have Carlos Sainz.
Whoa!
I think he's going to have a fantastic year. I think he's going to have his best season this year, and he's going to put that car in places it doesn't belong.
I'm with that, honestly.
Good.
Or, well, am I? I don't know. I don't know what my numbers say, honestly.
He got done dirty. I think he has a chip on his shoulder because he should be either at Red Bull or Mercedes.
Size of 10. Jesus. Okay. Alonso.
I can see
number
it.
10.
I can see it. What about you, John?
Call me crazy, right? Because this would be crazy. I'm gonna put Fernando at 10.
You two agree on that.
Which means Carlos Sainz ends up P9 and absolutely demolishes Alex Albon.
Oh my God, he's even more optimistic on this than me.
I like Carlos Sainz, man. What can I don't know why. He is the dude. He's a lunch pail guy. Shows up to work, does his job, goes home after singing Smooth Operator. He's a bad dude.
He did manage to keep up with Leclerc way more than I thought he would. So yeah, I gained a ton of respect for him during his Ferrari tenure. My P9, as we've already heard my P9 is Pierre Gasly. I think he's another guy. He's a special driver, even if his run at Red Bull didn't show it. I think if he gets a truly good car, he could genuinely be a threat for a world championship. What about you with P9? Jedi? Jedi?
Yeah, I think Gasly. I don't think
I don't think you said Gasly yet.
Gasly is number 9. He's my number 9 for sure. Actually, wait. Gasly over Sainz?
Yeah.
No. Sainz number 9.
You call this crazy for putting Sainz in the top 10, and now you're saying 9th.
No. Now I'm looking at it again, and I'm like, I might be wrong, and I'm allowed to be wrong. So,
I mean, we're all gonna be wrong.
I
think that's the beautiful part of it.
This video is gonna age terribly in like in a week when they roll up in Australia and Verstappen's 10 seconds clear of the field again.
I will.
Except for me saying that Doohan's not gonna get fired. That's gonna age like fine wine.
Yeah. Well, let's. DPS is gonna have a field day with that one.
I think Doohan's not gonna make it past Monaco. I'm sorry.
Jeez, the Doohan slander is ridiculous.
Listen, they wouldn't have signed Colapinto if they weren't planning on yeeting him.
Fair point.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
I feel bad for the guy because he clearly has talent. It's not fair.
Yeah, put him in a LMDH car.
Okay, P8 top 4 teams time. I think Lawson's gonna finish 8th.
Whoa.
I think Lawson's going to be the worst of the top 4 teams.
What? The Gasly and Albon treatment here. That's ridiculous.
Dude, we've been joking about this for months, that Lawson's going to get yeeted by the summer break. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't think he's going to match Verstappen, and I think that Red Bull is going to be the 4th fastest car this year. So, we'll see.
This is crazy.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's a hot take. That's a hot take.
I also think that Perez was a very good driver, and I also think that Red Bull's second seat is just a death trap. I don't think this has anything to do with Lawson. I just don't think anybody can succeed in that seat.
Mm. I don't
Like-
know.
Like,
See, I think-
Jedi, you remember that Perez was a very good driver before he showed up at Red Bull. You know this.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
He was good. He was good his first 2 years though too.
That second
I
seat
think-
is a death trap.
Last year last year he fell off a damn cliff, but
He fell off halfway
Ugh.
through 23 as well, which is,
yeah. I think once people were like, "Hey, you could fight for the championship," he went, "You know what sounds great? Retirement," and then just dipped. So like, I don't, because there's no arguing it. Checo was great. He was fantastic.
one of my favorite
But
drivers. Sad that he's gone.
He did not age gracefully, and he aged very quickly, in my opinion.
One of my favorite memories of F1 was him winning the Monaco GP, because I'm like, I watched this guy struggle in the midfield for years, and it felt like a great moment for the guy, and then his career just took a nosedive right after.
Okay.
What about you guys? 8th place.
8th place. Oh boy, this is actually
I'm gonna get a lot of hate for mine.
good. Googly moogly.
Good. Give us good content.
Oh,
I mean, I probably won't get hate for it.
oh my goodness. Okay, this is okay because top 10 is pretty okay. You know what, Anthony? I'm gonna have to join you on this.
You're gonna put Lawson down here?
What?
You know what? It's no because
Oh,
we're gonna look. I'm gonna explain it. You're gonna see after. Listen, Lawson's not gonna have a bad season, but this top 10 is like competitive. You have dudes like Norris, Piastri. Let's not forget. Now Russell's a bit of a bottle, but Russell's gonna put up those points regardless.
Russell's a good driver. He throws, but he has great pace and amazing
He's-
qualifying. So
He's
yeah,
consistent. When he's consistent, Russell is a driver. So Lawson is not, like I said, Lawson's not gonna have a bad season. But this, like I said, this is a stacked. This is a very stacked
top 8. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that we're talking about 8th place being bad. By the way,
No, like Lawson's gonna have a good year.
yeah, no, but it's just crazy that we're like it's gonna be like it's still a good year, but it's like
He's not gonna be up there.
worst. Yeah, it's the worst of the best tier to be in.
You also have to realize he's had 10 career starts leading up to this, and now his teammate's Max Verstappen.
That's like a curse. That's a curse.
They put him in Gasly and Albon situation, and I don't like that because those are two talented drivers he killed.
And because he has those 10 prior starts, that is exactly why at number 8 I am going Kimi Antonelli.
Oh my goodness gracious! I am
Hot.
What?
Yeah,
Whoa!
I like Liam. So there's one thing. This is kind of the perk of watching DTS, right? I think it was Will Buxton that said it. He said to be a champion, you got to have a little bit of dickhead in you, right? It's true, and I think that's why I think I'm going crazy when you guys are saying Liam's gonna finish 8th. There's something about him. I don't know what it is about Liam Lawson, but he's got that something that's like, you can't quite put your finger on it, but you're like, he's kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think he's got it. I don't have him winning the championship or anything crazy.
Bro,
but
Lawson talks too much crap for. I didn't see what was it?
He also
Singapore.
he likes the Cars movie too, so like that gives him bonus points, obviously.
He's definitely a Jackson Storm fan.
Nah, he went straight
He
from
might-
chick
he
kicks
might-
to Jackson Storm.
He might fight you on that. He
Like-
might fight you on that.
Antonelli at 8th.
Yeah. Oh, seven's gonna drive y'all. nuts.
So
Oh
here's
You know what? 7.
so here's
I think we're all gonna agree on something with 7.
for me P7 Kimi Antonelli.
Fuck.
we're all gonna agree on it.
I didn't expect that.
He's a rookie. I don't think he's going to beat his teammate. I don't really think he's going to be close to his teammate. And I think his teammate has the third best car in the grid. So P7's fair.
You know what?
And honestly, like going like 7th, 8th for Kimmy, like we have, and for Liam Lawson, it's extremely generous too, because they could have a terrible start to the season
And be down in like 10th or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Jedi, you seem so confident on your pick. Let's see who you have.
No. You know what? Like I said it's something we agree on, and I would say Antonelli is 7. Like I said, Antonelli. Wait. How good is the Ferrari this? You know what? I think this Ferrari has the second best car. So yeah, Antonelli and Lawson are going to be very in that same bracket of 7 and 8.
I think they're going to have their own little battle all throughout the season. So
pretty, yeah.
Oh, I'm about to catch so much heat.
Okay, so what are we like? No, yeah, 7.
Okay, John, who do you have in 7th? You seem to think it's quite controversial.
Oh yeah, he has the same amount of championships.
Oh no!
Finishing in.
Lewis Hamilton! Yes. Holy shit!
Listen. I don't necessarily think it's gonna be a huge drop off in form. Like he's gonna drop off a little bit. He's getting older. Like you can't deny that. And I think I'm trying to think of what it was that I watched the other day. They brought it up that he does not. It might have been Josh Revel again. He doesn't quite qualify as well as he used to, and that is something that is gonna be kind of underrated. And it's not so much that Lewis falls off. It's the other people that I have in front of him have such a big uptick in performance that he's just it's just that kind of thing where somebody's got to get phased out. Unfortunately, I have it being Lewis because he is older and not qualifying as well. And you can go down the list and blah, 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 blah. But
so,
yeah, it's a bold take. I know it's a bold take, but
P6 for me, Lewis Hamilton. But I didn't let you finish. But
I'm not that far off. No, I think what he brings to the table going to Ferrari now, where it's not the raw pace, championship winning pace, and I could be totally wrong, which is totally fine, but it's the information that he can pass along to Charles.
So here's my thing. I actually also. I don't expect you guys to do this, but I also said how many wins I think everybody's going to get. Lewis Hamilton is my first guy I think will win a race this year. I don't think it's going to be a terrible P6. I think he's going to be competitive, but I think he's going to finish 6th.
What? 6th? Okay, you know what? No. That low-key makes sense. Yeah, Hamilton at 6th is pretty realistic. I think Leclerc's going to really... I know this is crazy to say it, but Leclerc might show him levels to Ferrari. So Leclerc's been driving that thing since, 2019?
Yeah.
So Leclerc's like, he knows the in and outs of Ferrari by now. So, yeah, Hamilton at 6 it can't be crazy. Hey, if Hamilton somehow decides he wants to have a dominant season and literally steamrolls the top 5, then
we'll all look like fools.
Yeah, we'll really look ridiculous. But Hamilton at 6 is like my safe bet.
I'll also say this: sure. I think Leclerc and Russell are very similar drivers in terms of talent level. So if Russell can beat Hamilton 2 out of 3 years, it makes sense that Leclerc would also be able to.
And Leclerc is like way better than Russell.
No, I think he's only slightly better. I think they're around the same in terms of talent.
No. When Leclerc is not putting a car in a wall, Leclerc is clear of George for sure. Like
they've never been close to each other in terms of like pace. I can't really tell.
And we can't even compare 2020 because that 2020 car was just off the rails.
Yeah.
Wait, John,
Did you choose P6? I don't think you
I've
did.
got Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson at P6.
I could see that if he has a really good year.
Yeah.
I think that's like your optimistic prediction for him.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to there's just something I can't. There's just some people you can like watch them drive and stuff, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but they're like it's the it factor, right?
Yeah, no.
I'm not quite sure what it is. I really don't. I don't know, and it might just be me being dumb, which is totally fine. It's totally a normal thing for me to do, is just be dumb. But,
the way you just described that, that's just that kind of that philosophy was always like for me, Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR. I can't describe why he was so good, but he was.
Yeah. I guess the person I'd kind of liken him to in NASCAR right now, like young guy, you're like, I don't know why, but yeah, he's just it's one of those things that you're like, I can see him doing really, really good or completely burning out and being terrible. But like Carson Hocevar, I've been a Hocevar fan since like the trucks. I don't know what it is. He pisses a lot of people off, but I mean, he qualified like third for Phoenix tomorrow. We're recording this the day before the Phoenix. Yeah, the 8th, the day before the Phoenix race. He qualified like third today. So,
yeah, you see, I've hated him since the fucking farce of a truck finale a few years back. But we're getting off track.
No, that's fair. But it's just like it's the same kind of thing, right? Like I just have that kind of feeling that's like, and I'm not a huge like Liam Lawson fan. I'm sure like he's okay. He's just not my favorite, right? But yeah, I think I don't know. He's just got something that I think he's gonna be good. P6, good for me.
Okay, so moving up into the top 5, I have George Russell in 5th place this season. I think he's going to win 3 races through maybe nonsense like last year at Austria, or maybe he just has another fantastic race in Las Vegas. Maybe he finds something somewhere else. I don't know. But yeah, I think he finishes 5th, 3 wins. I think he stays relatively near the other top guys, but I just don't think the Mercedes is good enough for him to keep up with them.
I've got Russell in 5th also. I think he'll throw at some point. And again, like we talked about with the bottom half being like super competitive and compact, the top's going to be the same way.
Yeah, how are you feeling about 5th place, Jedi?
Russell.
We're we're in lockstep on this.
Yeah, I agree with the both of you. I think it's gonna be like Russell on the 5th. Like, we have dudes like Leclerc, Piastri, Norris, Verstappen. Like, this.
To me, I believe that if the Mercedes was good enough, he'd be up with them. I don't think the team. Thing. I don't think the car is good enough.
Like I was hearing that Mercedes are still running their car very low, and not very low. I think it was very stiff, and like they were having lockups during preseason. So, I think the problem is the car and not the drivers. So, I honestly, Russell, P5 for sure. Yeah.
So for me, P4, Oscar Piastri. I think he's going to win about 3 races this year, because I don't think he's quite on Norris's level. I think he will eventually get there. I think that he will find a way to steal 3 wins from Norris by just being a dick, and I have no problem with that because Norris is kind of whiny.
I agreed. I have Oscar in 4th too. Even though I really like Oscar, I really thought about putting him higher, but you'll understand why in a moment why he's not higher. But Oscar is gonna win a World Drivers' Championship at some point. Like, he's too talented, and again, he has that little bit of he can be a dickhead. So it's just a matter of time before he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I want to do.
How are you feeling about fourth Jedi?
Fourth place. Yeah, Oscar.
Okay,
I think
another position that we're all lockstep.
now we're at the point where it's like now we're about to go to top three, and
Okay, so my top three, I think I might have. Now that I'm here again, I'm back to like, how do I feel about this? So P3. Screw it. You know what? I'm gonna go with my heart. P3, Lando Norris. I think he's gonna win 7 races. I think he's gonna be, which is more than anybody else. I think he's gonna have these dominant performances, but I think he's so susceptible to races like Brazil last year, or just weird mistakes like Qatar where he didn't slow down, and just he still needs to prove that he can get his starts in order. I think he's gonna have a great year. I don't think he's gonna win the championship.
See, I think and this is I was excited to get to the top 3, and honestly, this was the last 4 were the hardest 4 for me to write down, because you could easily, like, I think more easily than other places on the list, you could flip these 3 to 4 guys around depending on how you feel about them. You can flip them around the easiest because, the 3 we have left, we all have Charles, Max, and Lando left.
Yeah.
They are arguably the 3 most locked in drivers at the absolute top of their game. Obviously, Max, 4 straight championships. Lando, I think, learned a lot last year down the stretch, and then Charles just needs to not get Ferrari'd. But they did a better job. They did a better job of it last year. You got to be honest. I have Charles finishing in 3rd. I think the Ferrari moments come back, and they Ferrari themselves down to 3rd.
So, how are you feeling about this Jedi?
I'm going to put Lando at 3rd.
Huh.
After last season, my confidence in Lando has kind of dropped. Like, hey, listen, if his starts improve and he figures out how the hell to drive, then I could put him as either champ or 2nd place. But right now, my confidence is not too high in Lando, so 3rd place is like the best I can give him for now. This is like we said, this is a prediction. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, honestly. I really hope I'm wrong and he's not lower than 3rd or 2nd or 1st. I hope he's 1st, but right now 3rd. 3rd that's it. Yeah.
So I think we should say our world championship pick, and then we cover the guy in 2nd, just so we can give the nice reveal moment.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So for my world championship pick, he's my joint favorite driver in the entire field, Charles Leclerc. Yeah, I know that the Ferrari was kind of iffy during testing, but I think that people are overreacting. I think he's going to win 6 races. And I think Ferrari with Fred Vasseur is a different beast. The Benotto is gone. They're not going to fucking have him go into the pit stops at Monaco and double stack with Carlos Sainz for no reason. I think this is the year. I might be a delusional Ferrari fan here, but maybe. How are you guys feeling?
Wow. That's how I feel. Okay, let me make my pick. Now for champion, I'm gonna confidently just go with Verstappen. Verstappen's been a bit sketchy last season, but he's been consistent. He's been fairly consistent. Like as long as Red Bull hand him a solid car, Verstappen is putting that car through its paces, and he's gonna steamroll whoever he needs to steamroll. Like it doesn't matter. Like, yeah. But other than that, I hope Verstappen gets the fifth. Honestly, like Team Red Bull for life. So yeah, I think champ this year, Verstappen.
I'd rather him win than Norris. I don't like Lando.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the guy.
See, it's funny you say that.
That's insane.
I like Max. Max is my guy. I'm a little worried. I mean, I'm not worried about how good he is because we all know how good Max is, right? Like Max is basically a robot at this point. I am gonna go because I would hate to be wrong and have not picked it when I've thought about it for quite a bit. I'm going with Lando winning the championship. I think you have to. I want to say I heard Connor Zilic say it the other day, and it really is. It's super true. You have to lose one to learn how to win one. And I think Lando going through all that stuff at the end of last year, it taught him a lot of valuable lessons. And there's a good chance that the McLaren could just be. I know we saw it last year at the end of the year. It was the best car, and he still managed to screw it up. But we could see it come out and be the best car, and him not screw it up and turn a lot of those missed opportunities from last year into hits this year, and could do some really good things.
So I'm just going to say this about Lando. For me, I still had some hope for him up until Brazil. And then Brazil, like, completely broke any faith I have in Lando ever winning a world championship. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like his reliability. He's like I was saying, consistency with Lando is not really there.
But yeah, I think Lando, Charles, and Verstappen will all go into Abu Dhabi with a chance for the championship. And at that point, it's a coin flip who comes out.
That would be insane.
Yeah, and I think Verstappen's going to finish second, 4 wins, solid season, but I just don't think the car's going to be there for him.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Now, John, did you make your prediction?
He said Norris was winning the title.
Yeah,
No, wow, so we have 3 different people.
Max finishing a very close second.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
so. We're like on our second now.
Yes. So yes, I for me it's Verstappen. I think John said that he thinks Verstappen's going to finish second, and I think by process of elimination, you think Norris is going to finish second.
Finishing second for me. Norris.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the constructors.
All right, let's steamroll this one. Let's steamroll this one.
Yeah. Let's get through this quite quickly. For me, Sauber's 10th. I'm pretty sure that's fair. Yeah.
So yep.
Williams
agree on that one.
Williams 9th. Wait, why did I say Williams is 9th? Because Williams being 9th doesn't make sense. I think Aston Martin should be 9th. I think RB is going to be 9th. RB is going to be 9th. I definitely made a mistake with this. RB is going to be in 9th place.
I can see it. Honestly, I can see I could see it that way, or I could see them being better. Again, it's all the mid to back of the pack is just so condensed.
So what are you two? So what are you two thinking about for ninth place?
Ninth place for me is going to be I can't. You know what? I don't want to say it, but yeah, RB, man.
John,
I
you did say you wanted to speed run through this.
God dang, I don't know. Give me Alpine. I'll be different.
Okay, P8. I think that this is going to be Aston Martin. I think they're going to bottom out this year, and I think Newey is going to. I think they're just waiting for Newey at this point.
Okay. P8 for me, it's gonna be Alpine.
Alpine?
No.
John?
I'll go with you. I'll go with Aston.
P7. I think this is going to be Haas. No, wait. Seven's Alpine. I misremembered this.
I gotta write it down. Now I'm lost.
P7. For me, P7. Aston.
John?
We're at P7, right?
Yeah.
I had Aston at 8. I'll go Haas at 7.
So for me, P6 is going to be Haas.
Haas is going to be at 7 for you?
Did I say... Because Alpine's going to be 7. For me, P6 is going to be Haas.
Okay, P6, Haas.
Did you say it? Because I think you cut out slightly.
I said Aston.
Aston. Didn't you say Aston was 7? I think you already said Aston was at 7 already.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah. Haas.
Haas for
Haas
P6?
at 6. Yeah, Haas at 6.
John, how are you feeling about P6?
I got the Racing Bulls at 6.
That's interesting. Wow.
So for me,
I was gonna say, I think I'm also trying to do this based off my driver points also.
Yeah, I specifically wrote all of this down.
Yeah.
So for P5, I believe that carried by a fairly strong driver lineup. I don't think the car is anything special, but I think Sainz and Albon is a very good combination. I think Williams will get P5. That and their car actually looked decent in testing.
Okay, my P5, it would be like, I don't even know.
I think it has to be. Williams? I think it has to be Williams because I don't think they're going to be in the top 4.
Yeah, no way on earth is Williams going to be like top 4, dude. Yeah, Williams. Yeah. Williams 5. Yeah,
I'm going Mercedes at 5. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god,
I'm joking.
I was about to scream with Williams P5.
No, I'm going with Williams.
And then I feel like we're all going to agree on the top 4. I think Mercedes is going to get P4. I think they're going to have a third fastest car, but they don't have Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Red Bull P3.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, you don't believe it.
Whoa.
It's where they finished last year. And according to Max, the car sucks ass this year, so.
Yeah. Oh,
you gotta take that with a pinch of salt, but
you know what?
Are you thinking P2 for them? Because like that would break it up at least a little bit.
You know what? I'll agree with you guys. Yeah.
Ferrari P2.
Yeah.
McLaren P1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all pretty much agree on the constructors. Rookie of the year, my rookie of the year is Oliver Behrman. Again, I said earlier, I think the guy's going to be special. He's not going to have the most points because he's not in a Red Bull or Mercedes, but he's very good.
Rookie of the year.
um,
Wow.
but the rookies are doing Bortoletto, Lawson, Antonelli, Hadjar, and Behrman.
Based on points, I'd have it as Lawson, but the most I think the rookie I'm most excited to see is Ollie Behrman. I think he's gonna crush it.
Yeah.
My rookie of the year. Here comes my
You seemed quite
my
hyped about
bias.
Antonelli earlier.
Yeah. I'm about to say Antonelli might. Okay, Antonelli might be either very, very good or very, very bad.
You see, the thing,
Like Toto Wolff. Here's the thing: Toto Wolff was. He's like, I don't want to miss out on this kid. Let's not forget, Antonelli is like 18, 19. So
here's the thing. I don't like the next Max Verstappen hype because, like, I don't think there's going to be a next Max Verstappen for a while.
no, Max Verstappen's like a once in a lifetime.
Once in a generation, at least.
But
Like,
I do have some confidence in Antonelli. You know, he spent his time in GT3 cars. You know, was he F2? Who was F2 champion? It wasn't him. That's the thing.
it was
That
Bortoletto.
is what worries me. Exactly. So it's just that's what concerns me. It's because he wasn't F1 champ, and they were like glazing him like crazy in the F2 season. So I want to, you know what? I'm gonna put him as rookie of the year. But in case it's not him, I'm Baron.
Behrman. So
Yeah.
I've come up with this idea to like give a driver who doesn't really seem who's probably not going to get much airtime or probably won't win the world championship, but's going to have a very strong season. I have a specific award for them during this called Driver of the Year. It's going to be one driver. I had us all pick a few of them just because I didn't want us to all pick the same guy. My Driver of the Year is going to be George Russell. I think he's going to have a very strong season. I don't think the car is going to be quite there, which sucks. But oh well. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna have a season that's held in very high regard.
Okay, my driver of the year. You know what? I'm gonna say Leclerc. I feel like Leclerc might put some. He might, you know, put a little extra sauce. Now that because he has Hamilton. Now it's like Leclerc has to live up to hype. Now he already kind of did against Vettel. Now he's like, it's Hamilton. Like now we're going against someone who's literally in the GOAT. So I would have to put Leclerc up there for sure. For sure. He's gonna be my driver of the year.
I went back and looked at my list. It's a weird list. And I think I'm going to give the nod, as much as I want to give it to Yuki, because I think Yuki is going to prove a lot of people, cough, Christian Horner, wrong. And is going to be fantastic this year. I'm going to go with Pierre Gasly.
That's a good pick.
I was, when you wrote down your 4 people, Gasly was one of them. I was like, dang it. Like, that was the one guy that I was like dead set on. He is going to be who I pick. So I'm very thankful that you let me, pick him. I think Alpine's was pretty good at the end of last year. And I think if they can kind of bring some of whatever they were cooking into the beginning of this year, I think Pierre's great. Like you mentioned earlier, he's one of those people that just has it. I don't know. I think Pierre could surprise some people. I would love if he were to find his way into a win this year at some point.
Monza 2020 still stands as one of those great moments in F1 history for me.
Oh, yeah.
You felt so good for the guy because he clearly kicked and fought and climbed his way to that win. Ugh. So that wraps
Yeah,
up.
honestly, I think that's. Sorry.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, John Gasly as your driver of the year. That's pretty solid, honestly. Gasly, when you give him a decent car that isn't a Red Bull, he puts that car to its paces. So honestly, that's facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will now be moving on to the news and rumors that are currently going on in Formula One. And this first piece of news is really just hating on somebody. Mohammed Ben Salaman and his annoying swearing, I'm gonna get rid of team radio nonsense. This is just annoying, really. Like, I'm half convinced that he's going to steal half of Max Verstappen's wealth by the end of the year. It's ridiculous.
Understandable, honestly. Yeah, it's been talked about a lot. It's a high pressure situation. You know, if he were to walk into the damn kitchen at midnight looking for a little snack or a drink or something, and he stubbed his toe, is he going to find himself for cussing? It's the same thing. If you make a mistake in a race car, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah,
you're going to get upset. You're going to get pissed off. It's an emotional sport, you know? I think
it's a high stress
kind of BS. Yeah, I think it's BS.
Any sport in the world, the athletes cuss when something doesn't go their way. Whether it's a baseball field or an ice hockey arena or a football field or anything, people aren't going to just be like, oh, well, I completely failed. Oh, good heavens. No, they're not going to say that. Yeah. They're going to say, fuck.
Right.
Second bit of news, Cadillac. I think it was yesterday.
Finally.
I think it was yesterday or the day before, but Cadillac got announced as their entry is now official towards Formula One. And as John said, finally. I've always been a big General Motors guy, always rooted for the Chevys in NASCAR. I'm a big Corvette guy. I am so happy to see a true American auto manufacturer enter F1. I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping that we get an actual American F1 driver who isn't fucking Logan Sargent.
Amen. Preach, brother. Preach.
Honestly, yeah, I'm after seeing Cadillac. I know Cadillac didn't do much in like IMSA and the WEC.
Well, they were battling for the lead in the WEC earlier this month, and their cars ran into each other, giving Ferrari a 1-2-3. So.
Yeah. So like honestly, I love Cadillac being in motorsport right now. Like, and even like back then, but they weren't as, how do I say it? They weren't as relevant. But it's like now, you know, their road cars super fire, and now they're putting more effort into like motorsports again. It's like, yeah, this is nice to see. It's refreshing having a new team come into the sport. Yeah, this is it.
Okay. And first team to enter the sport since Haas in 2016. Finally back up to 22 cars. First time since Marussia went out of business, which sucked. The sport's healthy. That's what this shows me. We've touched briefly on this, but the Doohan Colapinto drama. So we kind of gloss over this in the predictions, but is he getting fired?
We don't even know, honestly.
Is Doohan going to make it past Monaco?
Hot take, he'll be there the whole damn season. Because somebody's got it. Everybody's saying he's going to get fired.
What's up with that? Why is that?
Because apparently Flavio Briatore has a hard-on for Franklin Colapinto. That's why.
then why not just sign Colapinto in the first?
Because they'd already signed Doohan.
That's
true.
I forgot how that all worked at the end of last season.
To me, this whole situation's stupid. Like, if you want Colapinto in the car that damn badly, just pay Doohan out before the season starts. It's ridiculous.
Right.
You know what they're gonna
Yeah.
do? They're gonna use every single mistake Doohan does, and then use it to replace him to get Colapinto in.
Yeah.
Doohan's gonna win China, and then they're still gonna fire him.
This
He was
reminds
been in practice, and all of a sudden, Colapinto's in.
this reminds me of the Kvyat Verstappen bullshit from 2015, 16.
16.
Yeah, Kvyat got a podium in China, and they fired him after Russia. There was nothing he could have done. To me, I hate this. I really do. I hope Doohan somehow wins the first 5 races of the season, so they don't fire him. But it's not going to happen.
Alpine comes out of the gate with the best car. Doohan dominates.
It's like a
Doohan the Dominator.
It's like a Braun GP Jensen Button type situation where he somehow wins 5 races in a row to start the year.
That'd be insane.
And we already covered the Lawson stuff. John really likes Lawson. Me and Jedi are a bit more skeptical. And to me, I don't Jedi. Do you think he's a good driver, Lawson?
Bro, I didn't even when he was in the the RB back 2023 or
22 and 23.
Or
He had
20
some runs in RB.
I didn't really.
No, 23 and 24. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't really care about Lawson. I don't know. Lawson, I'm not a Lawson fan. There's nothing. I don't know. I guess it was what you said earlier. He's kind of he has this dickhead act to him. But I don't know. To me, he's not the most likable driver on the grid right now. Maybe if I see more of him, we'll see. But right now, I just I'm pretty disregarded off him.
So
yeah.
So here's my general thoughts on Liam Lawson. I think he's nice. I think he's a nice dude. The Cars shtick is cute, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of that movie. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a decent driver. I don't think he's as good as Albon or Gasly. So, and they completely flamed out. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think he's going to be particularly great. I don't think they found their guy. I don't even know who the hell they could line up next to Verstappen who would actually work out. And John, I think you've already said your piece on this.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I like Liam Lawson. I think he seems like a cool dude off the track, and I think I actually just kind of thought about it. I think what makes me think he's kind of got whatever he needs to be successful was last year him and Checo going at it when he was in the RB and Checo was obviously in the Red Bull, or he was in the Beaker. My bad. But yeah, I don't know. Well, time will tell. But I think there's something there.
Okay, moving on to the race previews / race predictions. So, the Australian GP, I need to actually double check and see what day the Australian GP is on.
It's next Sunday, isn't it?
Yes, it's on Sunday, March 12th, on the Eastern time zone of the United States. It's on at 12 in the morning, so rough day for me the next day. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't even know. I don't think I'm going to be up for the Australian Grand Prix.
I tend to stay up for the late races. My mom doesn't, but I do.
It's the 16th. I think you said the 12th. It's the 16th.
The 12th?
It's the 16th.
Yeah, it's the 16th.
It's the 16th.
16th, sorry. First race of the year. We'll see how everything works out. Albert Park Circuit. I can't remember how many turns there are to it. 58 laps, I think. 58 laps. Last year's winner, Carlos Sainz Jr., Charles Leclerc, and Lando Norris also filled out the podium. This was the race famous for Max Verstappen's brake ducts just blowing up because I think somebody left. Jedi, do you remember what the mistake was? I don't fully remember.
It was a piece of plastic, I think.
Somebody left a piece of plastic in the brake ducts,
or his brake overheated, and they just like it was a no, the brake got stuck. I think that's what happened.
the brake got stuck on. Yes.
That's what happened.
Yeah, Verstappen's engine blew up, or not engine. His brake exploded in, honestly, kind of a really like spectacular explosion. And I physically remember jumping out of my chair and cheering because I was so prepared for this to be another. Max starts the race, and then nothing happens for 2 hours, and then you listen to the Dutch national anthem race. Honestly, nowadays that doesn't sound bad because of how entertaining everything's been, but at the time, I think we can all agree Max was starting to getting a bit annoying. Even though I know both of you are fans of his.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like I'm a fan. I like Max. I like watching him drive. I think it's just like the things he's able to do in a car are fantastic. But at a certain point, it is kind of like, okay, like I would like to see somebody else win. Like, even if it could have been Checo, and I'd have been like, finally. Or it could have been literally anybody. But,
I almost forgot.
It was insane.
I almost forgot Max did get pole position for the race last year, a 1:15.9. So we will see what we'll see what they can do, and how much faster the pole time is in comparison to last season. So we're just going to do who's going to get the pole and who finishes first, and who gets on the podium. So who are we thinking takes the pole for the Australian Grand Prix?
Leclerc.
Give me a second. I need to open up my race predictions. I think it's Norris.
I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri.
So my race winner, Oscar Piastri, followed home by Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris.
My race winner, Lando. Probably Leclerc and then Verstappen.
I'm going to go with Lando winning also. And then it being Max and Oscar. So double podium for Fire Boys.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems... all of our predictions seem relatively reasonable. Again, I feel like the front this year is going to be kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Moving on to the second and final race of the month, the Chinese GP, taking place Sunday, March 23rd at 3 a.m. I will not be staying up for this one.
Absolutely
no.
Not.
What? Come on, man.
I am not staying up for 3 a.m. The Chinese
class the next day.
The Chinese GP at Shanghai International Circuit. The second Chinese GP since COVID. And the 18th overall in its history, 56 laps. Last year, the race, Max Verstappen took pole with a 1:33.6 and won very easily. I can't remember if this is going to be a sprint weekend this year. I know it was last year. Could somebody actually check and see if it's going to be a sprint weekend this year?
It is a sprint weekend.
It is?
Yep, it is.
I can't remember what the sprint was last year. I'm pretty sure Lando got pole for it, though.
I think he got pole, and then Max got to the inside.
Yeah, and then
Max like 3 and 4 or whatever, and
beat him.
Pushed him off a little bit. Yeah.
And the race winner last year. Did I already say the race winner for last year? It was Max Verstappen with Lando Norris in P2 and Sergio Perez in P3. This was Perez's final podium of the season.
Wow.
And it was only like round 5. Not a good Not a good season for poor Checo.
No.
So I don't actually have predictions for the sprint, but I can quickly make them. I think Verstappen's going to get pole for the sprint, but I think Lando Norris is going to win the sprint with Verstappen and Russell in P3. And I think for the actual race itself, Verstappen pole, and then Verstappen actually converts this time, Norris and Russell.
Dang.
I don't even want to do a prediction for the sprint.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay. For the okay, yeah, I have no actually no, I can. So Paul, I think this is gonna be like a Max Verstappen domination. It's just I feel like it's just gonna be one of those weekends. Max pole, Max win, then Norris. No, I'll put Piastri and then Leclerc.
So that's for the race itself?
Yeah, that's for the race.
Okay. And, John, are you actually going to do the sprint, or are you just going to do the race?
You know what? I'll do the sprint because I think Jedi's onto something. I'm going to go. I think Max is going to get the pole. He's going to get the pole for the sprint. He's going to win the sprint. And then it's going to be Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri on the podium. And then obviously Max starting on pole for the Grand Prix. I think Lewis is going to win the Chinese Grand Prix.
Damn, I like.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? That's not
like
a bad
it.
take. That's not a bad take.
Well, he finished. He was now granted he was 13 seconds back, but he finished second in the sprint last year. Hey, just I'm gonna throw it out there. Kind of not super crazy, but it's crazy enough that it's an idea.
I like that.
I'm gonna go with Max in second, and then I think Oscar is gonna double up and go on the podium for P3.
So I really like that. Lewis Hamilton has the most career wins in the Chinese GP with 6. Can he make it a 7th? Very interesting take. But yes, that will finish up the predictions and pretty much bring us to an end. Any final thoughts from anybody here?
Like and subscribe.
No cap. Exactly. Like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try and push out more videos like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just lock in, bro.
We're gonna do this monthly, but hey, Jedi, if you ever want to stream F1 24 or whatever, I will give you the login to the actual channel itself. You can do streams or whatever on this.
Well, now we're kind of going into F1 25 later this year. If I do buy it.
Listen, like you still have a few months of F1 24, so and hey, if we ever feel like playing F1 23 together, because I'm not buying another EA F1 game, no.
Could always do a watch along.
Yeah, we could do if we feel like it, we could do a watch along for one of the races. So
yeah, that'd be sick.
Thanks everybody for watching the very first episode of the Formula One Roundtable. I'd like to thank both of my co-hosts here, both my co-host and my guest. Thanks, guys. You didn't have to do this. I very much enjoyed having you here.
Of course. It was fun, bro. You know, nice little conversation. It's easy to have, man. And
listen, we all of us at the very least enjoy F1. I know me and Jedi are more F1 guys, and JK is more of a NASCAR guy, but
yeah, brother.
I don't hate NASCAR. It was my sport growing up. I just don't like the direction it's gone in.
I can't argue with that.
But yes, I'm gonna look to see if I can find another guest for next month. But again, if I can't find anybody, I'd be glad to have you back. And again,
I am down.
And again, I definitely would like to have you for the final one of the season, so we can go over our predictions and see just how wrong we were.
Yeah,
I'm good.
We're booking you for the last
okay.
When does the season end this year? November, December?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's
So late.
November.
I definitely won't be doing anything then. So
But yes,
The season ends the 7th of December.
we'll probably include that one in the November episode.
As we should. All right.
But yes, thanks everybody for watching, and goodbye.